Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adrian, if you guys didn't know. Before we start, please leave a like and feel free to subscribe. And we're going to continue from where we left off from our previous video. So if you didn't watch that, go back and check it out so you guys won't be lost. And let's get back into it. Now we're looking at another file called sleepscreen.kotlin. This file builds the entire screen the user sees. We mark it as a composable function because it's part of Jetpack Compose. The function is called sleepscreen and it takes a sleep view model. By default, we just grab the view model using the function viewModel. Inside, we keep a little local flag called showAddDialog that just decides whether the add sleep dialog should be visible. Next, we collect data from the view model. Entries is the list of sleep sessions. Tracking start is whether we're currently timing one. And weekly hours is the total hours slept since Monday. Then comes the scaffold. A scaffold is like a basic structure for a material design screen. It gives us slots for a top app bar and for floating action button. In the top app bar, we show the weekly hours in the title and we add a plus button. When tapping that, it sets add show dialog to true. For floating action button, we use crossfade. If no timer is running, the button says start. If we are tracking a sleep session, it flips to stop. Tapping these calls the view model's start and stop functions. So this whole approach keeps things declarative. The screen just says, if we're tracking, show stop. If not, show start. If the add dialog flag is true, show the dialog. Compose handles showing and hiding things for us, so we don't have to manually push and pop UI elements. Next, we calculate data for the weekly chart and stats row. We use remember entries and zone, so it only recalculates when entries change to get average hours and average quality. Then comes lazy column. This is like a recycler view but for Compose. It's how we show a scrolling list. Here we have a sticky header that contains the weekly bar chart, spacer, stats row, another spacer, and the horizontal divider. This makes the header stay pinned at the top while the user scrolls through a list. Below the header, we handle different cases. If tracking start is not null, we show a banner that says tracking. If there are no entries at all, we show a message saying tap add or start/stop to create your first entry. Otherwise, we loop through all entries and render each one with a sleep card. The sleep card shows the start and end times, the duration, and lets you update the quality by tapping a star and delete the entry. So overall, this setup shows how UI and state are connected. When you tap start, tracking start changes, then Compose shows the stop button. When you stop, a new entry is added, then the list automatically updates. When you tap a star, set quality runs, then the stars re-render with a new rating. And finally, when you delete, the entry disappears from the list. The file you are now looking at is sleepcard.kt. So let's go through the code here. This composable draws one row in our list, a single sleep session. At the top, we accept four things: the sleep entry to display, the user zone, the time zone, to show times correctly, onset quality, which is a callback when someone taps on the star, and on delete, a callback when the trash can icon is tapped. Inside the function, we first format the times. First, we have a formatter that shows the day of the week, the month, the date, and the time. We convert the entries instant into a local date time with the user zone. We also compute hours, taking the duration between start and end and dividing the minutes by 60. We then render the card with things such as padding, and the card has two rows. The top row, which has a moon/bed icon, the start and end label, and a delete icon on the right. The delete icon is clickable and calls on delete. Then there's the bottom row, which contains a clock icon, a computer duration where it tracks the hours, the text quality, and the 5-star glyphs. Each star is clickable when tapped, and it calls the onset quality S, with the star number being 1 through 5. We render filled stars up to the current quality, and empty stars after that. So this pattern shows a common composed best practice. It keeps the UI stateless where possible and communicate changes upward via callbacks. The view model owns the real data where the card just displays it and signals the user. It uses instant and zone ID, which keeps time calculations correct for any local or daylight savings change. Calculating hours on the fly avoids storing duplicate data and risk of it getting out of sync. Now we're looking at the file statswidgets.kt. This file does two things. It calculates weekly stats from our sleep entries, and it shows those stats into two simple material cards. First, we got data class week stats, which just holds the final numbers we want to display, average hours per night and average quality. Then the function calculate week stats does the math. It does the entries and the zone. We figure out the current week by finding Monday in the user's time zone, and we define the window Monday to next Monday, which is shown here. We loop over all entries, convert each entry's start time to a local date, and keep only the ones inside this week. For kept entries, we add up the total time slept, and we also sum up the quality values and count how many quality ratings we saw. At the end, we compute average hours, total minutes divided by 60 divided by 7, so we divide by 7 nights to get a per night weekly average. Then we have average quality, where we do Q sum divided by Q count if we have any entries, otherwise it's 0. Next, we take care of the UI. Here we have stats row, which lays out two cards side by side. The left card shows the average sleep, and the right card shows the average quality. For the function star row, it converts the rating into filled stars and empty stars. We coerce in 0 to 5 to keep it in between 0 and 5 stars. We round it down to an int and draw that many filled stars. So overall, a couple of design choices here matter for beginners. One are time zones. We always convert instant to a local date using a zone ID. That guarantees an entry at a local time to be counted on the correct day for the user, even when there are daylight savings changes. And number 2, we have weekly window. Filtering Monday to next Monday makes the stats stable for the current week. Another thing is dividing by 7 nights, in which we are showing a weekly average per night. You divide by the number of entries in that week instead of 7. And finally, we have stateless UI. Stats row and star row don't fetch data themselves. They receive data and just render it. That keeps UI components reusable and easy to test. If you guys enjoyed this video and found it really helpful, please like and subscribe, and look out for my next part that will be coming soon. Thank you.